Building a great cinema setup has become everyone's aspiration goal. Having said that, is it possible for each one of us to create a dedicated cinema room? Now, most of my urban folks out here would agree that considering the lack of space in an urban apartment, it is difficult to create a spare room which is only for cinema purposes, and that is where the dream gets shifted to creating a living room home cinema setup. Now, if you are selling in the same boat, then watch this video till the end because I am going to decode the 5 steps to build a great home cinema setup in the living room. And towards the end of the video, I'm also going to help you with a tool to get a fantastic optimum solution that can suit your personal living room. Now the first step is to calculate your viewing distance and the screen wall dimensions. Now the reason why this is important is because a lot of dynamics about your sound, about your video is going to be determined by the viewing distance. If some of you have doubts about what is the viewing distance, well, the viewing distance is actually calculated based upon your distance from the TV or the projector screen. So let's say if you're sitting at a distance of 12 feet, then that 12 feet is considered as the viewing distance. Similarly, the screen wall dimension is important in case you are planning to put a projector screen. Now, if this is very clear to you, let's move on to the step 2. Now, in the step 2, we are going to actually determine the TV size or the screen size. For instance, if for those of you who are buying a TV along with the home theater setup, then typically the calculation goes like 2 times the diagonal size of TV needs to be your viewing distance. For instance, if you are buying a 65 inches TV, 65 inches into 2, that is 130 inches, is the minimum viewing distance that you need to have to enjoy that 65 inches TV. Now this can vary based upon the content resolution. For instance, if you are watching most of the 4K content, you may come closer to even 1.5 times the diagonal size. At the same time, if you are watching more of full HD content, then that can go up to 2 times or 2.5 times as well. So based upon that, you can consider your TV size. Now, if TV is not your end game for a great cinema setup and if you want to go big with a projector screen, well, you have got 2 choices. One is to go for a long throw projector with a screen which can be motorized, or you can go for a fixed frame ultra short throw ALR screen along with an ultra short throw projector. Now, in either of these cases, how we calculate the screen height is that we divide the viewing distance by 2.5. For instance, if you are sitting at a distance of 10 feet, simply divide it by 2.5 and you will get the value of 4. When you get this value of 4, 4 is nothing but the height of the screen which you can achieve at that viewing distance. Now, typically a 100 inch screen has got 4 feet height, which means that for 10 feet distance, I can comfortably place a 100 inch screen on the wall. And this is where, my friends, the screen dimensions or the screen wall dimensions are very important to understand that whether an 100 inch screen can actually fit into that screen wall. If you cannot, then in that case you may have to find around either changing the orientation or thinking about going for a motorized screen to avoid any challenges on that particular wall. Now step 3 is where the game gets very interesting because we are talking about the audio setups. In the audio setups, we all know that there are 2 options. One is to go for a soundbar, second one is to go for a wired speaker setup. Now soundbars can work in certain scenarios and it may not work in a bigger room scenario. Now to know more about soundbar and how does a Dolby Atmos soundbar work in a living room, make sure to watch this video which is dedicated fully on it. In case you are planning to go for a wired speaker setup, then you have got again multiple options to choose from in the speaker category. First one is an in-ceiling speaker setup. In an in-ceiling speaker setup, all the speakers can be pushed directly onto the ceiling, keeping your walls clean. In this case, you may have to go for angled in-ceiling speakers though. The second option is with in-wall speakers. In-wall speakers is wherein the speakers are hidden in the wooden cabinet, especially the front ones. The third option is to go for satellite speakers. Satellite speakers are those small tiny speakers which can be mounted on the wall or also can be kept on the ledge right below the TV or the projector screen. The fourth option is bookshelf. Now bookshelf speakers are a little bigger, bulkier and better in output, and they are versatile in terms of the color combinations and performance. These again speakers need to be kept either on the shelf as the name suggests, or you may have to buy stands to keep these speakers. And the last option is to go for the tower or the floor standing speakers. Now these are the wide range of speakers that you can select from while shopping for a wired speaker setup along with the AV receiver. Step number 4 is about your Atmos and surround speaker placement. This is where it gets very challenging because in most of the living rooms, you have got either two scenarios. One, wherein the sofa is right in the middle and you have got a dining table behind it. In the second scenario, the sofa is adjacent to the back wall and the dining tables are either on the right or the left side. Now in both these cases, installing the surround speakers and the Atmos speakers can be extremely tricky. Atmos, for instance, can go in the ceiling and they can be flushed along the false ceiling level, but surround speakers is where it becomes very challenging to find the right position. Now in this case, let's say if you have the sofa adjacent to the back wall, then you can put the ceiling speakers for your surround application as well. In the second scenario, wherein you have got a dining table right behind the sofa, you have got two options to either put the surround speakers on the side pelmet or on the side wall, or again go for angled in ceiling speaker to do the job for you. And lastly, the most important part to give you a great sound experience is the room acoustics. Now, while a dedicated cinema room, you can always plan to have a proper acoustic panel installation, dark room environment. In the living rooms, you cannot achieve that kind of darkness as well as do that kind of acoustic treatment. So in simple words, you will have to find out some hacks to create a great sound room in the living room setup as well. And to do that, some of the easy acoustic material is your loose carpet on the floor. It's the sofa recliner chairs that you will be using. And thirdly, a good blackout curtain with thick fabric is something that will take care of the sound absorption in that room and it will reduce the echo. Now, apart from this, if you want to still achieve some more better results, what you can do is you can simply opt for nice foam panels, something just like the one which you can see right behind me, or else you can go for wall arts, which are nothing but a combination of art with acoustic frames. Now, these are something available online as well as offline, and these can be installed to beautify the space as well as to ensure that we reduce the echo. Lastly, because it's a living room scenario, the sound is going to travel across the home. So how are you going to cut down on that? Well, the best way to do that is to go for the rubber sealants, which are available online on Amazon. I'm going to share the link of that in the description. You can just paste them around the window or the door frames so that when the door of your bedroom closes in, it kind of blocks the outside sound to come inside. So these are some easy hacks to ensure that your room acoustics in the living areas are taken very good care of to enjoy a great cinema setup. Well, if this 5-step method helped you understand how to create a great living room setup, and now you want to move on to the next stage of understanding the right optimum solutions, which includes various products, then for that I've got you covered with a custom design tool link that is shared in the description as well as in the pinned comments, so that me along with my team can guide you with the right solutions that can fit your price range, your space, as well as your audio and video preferences. Now, in case this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, and for more amazing home cinema content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That's it from my end. I, Tanmay Mehta, your home cinema consultant or home theatre wale bhaiya, will see you again in the next one. Thank you.